Good evening, Internet. This is Doki Doki Facepalm, where all of your happiness goes to die. Random Lobster Deck. So, today on the news, I was watching this really interesting story. It's about some town in Alabama called Bay Minot. We're just going to call it Bumfuck. We're going to call it Bumfuck, Alabama. Apparently in Bumfuck, Alabama, they have given criminals a choice between jail or church. Apparently non-violent offended criminals can choose whether or not to serve their sentence in jail for the crimes that they have committed, such as possession of drugs, car theft, mediocre piddly shit, or they can go to church for a year every week and answer some questions about each service, and basically have their records wiped clean on their first offense, which, on the one hand, you know, kind of a good turn of events. It makes church associated with punishment, which could be viewed as a victory for atheists everywhere, I'm sure. But on the other hand, it pretty well and over blatantly violates the separation of church over here and the state over here, because when you put the two together, it's basically what happens to everybody. So I was thinking long and hard after researching this, and I realized that their justification for this program is actually really sound. They have an idea in their tiny town that it costs about $75 a day to house a prisoner, and all the local churches agreed to help in with this program as nonprofits, so it saves money right off the bat for the prison system in the area, as well as it tries to reintroduce the prisoners into the society, which in turn, by statistics, makes them less likely to commit further crimes. However, the problem that they ultimately have is they've desecularized the punishment, and that's where everybody seems to be having an issue. And no one would pose the issue, as has been blatantly apparent in many of the interviews, if, say, the alternatives were jail or church or community service, or etc., to where there was some secondary option that wasn't just church. And that goes to some extent for the varying of religions, because would, you know, a Jew have to go to the church, or would he be able to go to synagogue, or a Muslim have to go to the church, would he be able to go to mosque? And in those senses, you know, this being Bumfuck, Alabama, I doubt there's a synagogue and a mosque on every corner, so not necessarily a very valid option. But it kind of got me thinking, it's like, well, why don't we let them go to church? And what we do is every prisoner, or would-be prisoner, who goes to church to serve in church, they take the shitty job in the church. Like, it'd be less likelihood to be a repeat offender if you had to spend an entire year every Sunday as an altar boy. You know, I don't know, maybe get less butt sex in prison than you would possibly as the pet of a Catholic priest. I don't know, but there's this general negative stigma towards being the petting boy of a pastor, as it were. So I started to dig a little deeper and try and figure out if there was a way we could secularize this punishment system as the alternatives. And you know, a lot of places have instituted, especially places, college towns, systems of community service as opposed to jail sentence, a form of punishment being 300 hours of cleaning up the roadways or something. It seems like Alabama, 300 hours of sweeping the rocks on the dirt road, probably not going to help you out as much as you'd like. But let's say, take these people who would otherwise have to be in jail and give them 300 hours working for the penal system, working as, say, cooks, 300 hours working as, say, gardeners, trimming the grass around the premises, watering, mowing, basically make them sort of the Jorge of the criminal justice system in Alabama, and possibly even 300 hours of extreme bitch work, like mucking out the sewer system when it's plugged up after it rains, or something like that. But make it to where it's not just an arbitrary number. If they were going to serve 15 days in the prison system, make them do 15 days worth of time in a community service setting. And you have to verify it and check, and I understand there's a lot of issues, but I'm kind of interested. I'm racking my brain to see why necessarily we couldn't have adopted that as a law, and I'm interested to see what other people think of an alternative to what you could do with prisoners of non-violent crimes, rather than send them to jail. I'd like to know what people think, and maybe some of these ideas. I'll post a follow-up video and see if we can send a petition to Bumfuck Alabama saying, well, maybe here's a thought, how you could get away with your church alternative, or potentially just something new that maybe would help. And if anybody from Alabama sees this video, I apologize for not being able to pronounce the name of your bumfuck city, but you would probably have a better idea of what you can and can't do there than I do, so please feel free to leave a comment in the section down where my penis would be if you could see my whole body.